Good day there, my YouTube neighbor. This is David Richardson, once again bringing you something of a value. This value today will be on the Holy Word Test as in days past. The Holy Word Test, as you perhaps know, is a book I had copyrighted many years ago, and you can access the Holy Word Test by simply going to www.theholywordtest.com. That's www.theholywordtest.com. The Holy Word Test is, as the name implies, it is a test of the Holy Word. You can also get the Holy Word Test simply by writing me at theholywordtest@gmail.com. That's theholywordtest@gmail.com, and we'll then forward you the Holy Word Test on a CD, and then you can take the CD and then look at the CD, answer the questions, and also get the answer to the questions on the same CD. So you can get the Holy Word Test in two forms. You can get it in a written form and a book form, and you can also get it in a CD form. So visit the Holy Word Test, if you would please, www.theholywordtest.com, and you can access the Holy Word Test. Now, as you know, and you can see on the screen, the Holy Word Test is also on YouTube. Simply go to the YouTube, type in www.youtube.com, and in the YouTube search engine, type in the Holy Word Test. There you will then have access to all of the messages that are listed on YouTube referencing the Holy Word Test. This today on this message is referencing the book of Daniel. Now in the Holy Bible, in the New Testament, in chapter 13 of the book of Mark, and also in chapter 24 of the book of Matthew, you will find that in Jesus' teaching, he's teaching you and I that we should get an understanding in Mark chapter 13 and in Matthew chapter 24. He's letting you and I know that we should get an understanding of the book of Daniel. Why the book of Daniel? Well, the book of Daniel holds many, many secrets, and one of those secrets we're going to discuss this morning, but there are other secrets in the book of Daniel that we will perhaps discuss at a later date. Today we're going to be talking about the secret as it revealed to us in Daniel chapter 4. In Daniel chapter 4, Nebuchadnezzar, the king Nebuchadnezzar, has now written a decree for the people to follow. And the decree he has written is referencing his dream or vision that he had on his bed as he was resting in his palace. Before we get into that, let me give you a little background of where he's coming from. He's going to introduce to us in his vision that he had a method that he had tried to describe and to see what caused him to have the dream that he had. And he's listing a couple of people that's listed in there, but let me give you some background. Earlier we have given you information in reference to the persons or what happened in the discussion between God and Job. Well, the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had is directly related to the discussion between God and Job. So make sure you go to YouTube and access the message that we listed on the YouTube about the conversation between God and Job, where God is introducing to Job his thoughts about what Job had exemplified, which was his pride, and God is then telling Job that when he was fastening the foundations of the world, that the sons of God and morning stars that were shouting for joy. The morning stars all sing together, God said, and all of the sons of God shouted for joy as he was finishing the creation of the world. And God so loved the world that he gave his son for the world. But that's not enough. That's a discussion for another day. Today we're going to concentrate strictly upon the relationship between the discussion that God, or the chastisement that God was chastising Job, because Job has exemplified pride, and God was letting Job know that he had nothing to do with nothing, that all and everything that is on the earth was put there by God and for God's purpose. So now we go to the discussion, or that is the relationship between the discussion of Job and God and Job and the dream of Nebuchadnezzar in Daniel's chapter 4. There is a relationship, because in the dream that Nebuchadnezzar had upon his bed in his palace, as he's resting in his palace, he had a dream that he was said that he saw watchers and holy ones come down from heaven and give him a dream that he could not interpret. And he had all the magicians, the sorcerers, and all the persons that he thought could interpret the dream in Chaldeans and etc. that he thought could interpret all the dreams of all those persons in Babylon, but he could not have, they couldn't interpret the dream. So then he called upon Daniel. And as we know, Daniel was found with favor in God, and Daniel was one of 4 brothers, and we'll get into that in a minute, but he was one of 4 brothers that was held as a eunuch in Babylon. So Daniel then was called upon by Nebuchadnezzar to interpret the dream, for which he did. And it was the watchers and the holy ones that gave Nebuchadnezzar the dream. And it is important to know who the watchers and the holy ones were, and the relationship between the watchers and the holy ones and the morning stars and sons of God that God was talking to Job about in the book of Job. The watchers and the holy ones are the one and the same of the sons of God and the morning stars that came down from heaven to give the dream, or put the dream in Nebuchadnezzar's head. But the morning stars are the angels that left their estate, and in the book of Jude, and also in the book of 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 4. Those same ones is what Nebuchadnezzar saw in his dream in the palace, and had a decree then drawn for everyone in Babylon to interpret the dream. So he then called all of his magicians and persons that he thought could interpret the dream to do so, but no one could do that other than Daniel. And Daniel then told Nebuchadnezzar about the dream. So that's where we are, to giving you an understanding. Then God said to get an understanding of the book of Daniel. And the chapter 4 hold a mystery that you should read and study for yourself. And not just chapter 4, but the entire book of Daniel, in order to get the understanding from Daniel that Jesus is asking you to get. And I can assure you that when you study the book of Daniel, you will have to do other studies in order to get the understanding that is given for you to study. For an example, there is one of the bonus questions in the Holy Word test referencing the sealing of the 7 seals that's in the book of Revelations. Do you know who sealed the 7 seals, and where is that found in the Holy Bible? Those are one of those secret, not necessarily secret questions, but bonus questions that's asked in the Holy Word test. And again, if you want to access the Holy Word test, you can do so by going to www.theholywordtest.com, and then you'll be able to access the Holy Word test on the internet. If you want to visit it on YouTube and get the messages that are being presented on YouTube, you can visit www.theholywordtest.com, and it will come up and give you the information on YouTube. And then if you want to type in the YouTube search engine, the Holy Word Test, you will be able to get all of the messages that are listed on YouTube. Now, again, and also if you want to get a CD copy of the Holy Word Test, you can write me at theholywordtest@gmail.com. Just send for a copy and ask that to send you a copy. Put all your information in for the Holy Word Test at gmail.com, and then we will then return your reply and give you the information that will make it necessary for you to obtain your copy of the Holy Word Test on a CD. Again, back to the Daniel story. We're going to have to conclude this. I don't want to take up all your time, but I would like for you to access the book of Daniel. You can do that by just going to the Holy Bible and reading Daniel for yourself. And I can assure you that the understanding that Jesus Christ is asking you to get, that you will get your understanding that He wants you to have. You see, your understanding may be different from anyone else's understanding, because your fingerprints are different than anyone else's fingerprints. So whatever He's going to give you and the understanding what He wants you to understand about Daniel, He will give that to you. And it could be somewhat different than anyone else's, because there are no 2 fingerprints that are alike. And I'm of the opinion that there are no 2 revelations that you're going to get from God that's going to be identical. Because what He has for you, He has it just for you. And what He has for someone else is just for that person. I want to conclude this. I perhaps have already taken up too much of your time. Make sure that you visit us at www.theholywordtest.com. Access us also on YouTube. That's youtube.com. And type into the YouTube search engine the Holy Word Test. And you'll be able to hear other messages that are presented about the Holy Word Test on YouTube. I want to thank you for watching, and hopefully you have a very, very blessed day. Thank you, and goodbye.